Nam-gyu entered the game like everyone else, broke, desperate, and full of bad decisions. He wasn't the strongest player or the smartest, but he was definitely the loudest, the pettiest, and somehow always one step away from starting a fistfight over nothing. He was chaos in human form. If what he did throughout the game is judged through court, Nam-gyu will have a long vacation in prison. Let's start with his first crime. Nam-gyu and his buddy Thanos weren't happy about losing money in crypto. So who do they blame? Not themselves, but a YouTuber named Myung-gi who gave them the advice they followed. Instead of moving on, they decide to bully him non-stop, confronting him in public and making threats like it's all his fault.
그래도 이 새끼 그 코인 때문에 날린 것만 5억이 넘어. 임 잘해서.
쓰니까 좀 비켜줄래? 씨발 먹는 건 존나 싫은데.
먹고 싶어?
Here's the thing, following bad advice doesn't give you the right to harass someone. What they're doing counts as intimidation, and the law takes that seriously. You can't just scare or threaten someone because your investment didn't work out. If caught, both Nam-gyu would be looking at 1 year in prison. And with tempers flaring, this probably isn't the last time he crosses the line. Right after the confrontation, Nam-gyu starts spiraling. He turns to Thanos and says he's going to get overwhelmed if he doesn't get high. Then without hesitation, he takes illegal drugs from him. Right there, no shame, no second thoughts.
I don't know what the fuck I talked to him. 다 죽어. 내 남수야. 개땀이? 형. MD 할 때 진짜 인간한 건 다 저거 양 넣어든 좀.
뭐라 했지?
Using illegal substances is still a crime, no matter how stressed you are. Saying you're overwhelmed isn't a free pass to break the law. Taking drugs like that can lead to fines, arrest, and a whole new set of problems. If caught, Nam-gyu would be facing a 1,001 fine. It's a small penalty, but it's one more strike on his growing record, and things could get worse from here. During the crucial voting round, Nam-gyu doesn't let things play out fairly. Instead, he corners player 048 and pressures him to vote to continue the game. It's not persuasion, it's force, and in a situation this serious, that crosses the line.
배신하지 마.
48번.
Forcing someone to vote a certain way, especially under pressure in a life or death game, is coercion. It doesn't matter if it's just a vote. If you take away someone's free will, the law steps in. If caught, Nam-gyu would be looking at 5 years in prison. But his crime doesn't stop here. Nam-gyu and Thanos corner another player in the bathroom, getting in his face and scaring him just for the fun of it. Classic intimidation move.
I'm sorry, boy. 형 배신하면 형 마음이 너무 아파.
너 뭐네? 진짜로.
Oh, boy.
Following someone into a bathroom and threatening them, that's intimidation, plain and simple. Doesn't matter if it's part of a game, fear tactics like that are illegal. If caught, both Nam-gyu and Thanos would be looking at 1 year in prison. But Nam-gyu keeps stacking up his sentences. Things take a deadly turn when a fight breaks out in the bathroom. Nam-gyu doesn't try to escape or defend himself. He grabs a fork and stabs another player. The blow is fatal. No hesitation, no second thoughts, just cold-blooded murder. Stabbing someone to death, even during a fight, isn't self-defense when you go that far. That's murder. And in the eyes of the law, that means one thing. If caught, Nam-gyu would be facing a life sentence. But it's far from over because Nam-gyu doesn't stop at one murder. Right after the bathroom fight, he returns to the dorm, sees Sammy standing alone, and without warning, he attacks her. The result? Another player dead at his hands. This wasn't defense, and it wasn't an accident. It was a deliberate attack with deadly intent. That makes it murder in the eyes of the law. If caught, Nam-gyu would be facing another life sentence. But for Nam-gyu, even this is not enough. After Thanos dies, Nam-gyu doesn't grieve. He loots. Straight to the body, zero hesitation. He grabs the cross, opens it up like it's a vending machine, and pockets the contents. Back in the dormitory, he decides now's the time for a snack. Except it's not food. It's a drug. And he swallows it without blinking, like this is just part of his bedtime routine. That's drug possession. Not exactly subtle, not remotely legal, and that earns him 4 years in prison. And now that he's under the influence, things go from stupid to legally actionable. Still riding the high of having absolutely no boundaries, Nam-gyu decides it's time to emotionally body slam someone. He finds Min-soo, who's barely holding it together after Saimi's death, and starts pushing buttons like it's a sport. He brings up the loss, twists the knife, and threatens him, not physically, just enough to let everyone know he's not here for comfort. Min-soo says nothing. This is bullying, no charges filed. But if being a menace were a felony, he'd already be serving time. And having successfully added nothing to anyone's healing process, Nam-gyu turns his attention to something even dumber. At one point in the game, a blue-vested player is being chased. He runs, terrified, while Nam-gyu and Myung-gi split up to track him down. Eventually, the blue vest ends up cornered in a room with Myung-gi. Tension builds. Then Myung-gi lunges with a knife. Just as things escalate, Nam-gyu bursts in. The blue vest tries to escape but gets knocked to the ground. What follows is less of a fight and more of a group project in poor life choices. Myung-gi starts stabbing and Nam-gyu jumps in without hesitation. When it's clear both of them need to kill the person to get the win, they coordinate, not to stop, but to stab at the same time. Because nothing says collaboration like splitting a murder evenly. That's murder, and Nam-gyu earns a life sentence. And with the blood barely dry, he's already moving on to his next masterpiece in bad judgment. After their last victim drops, Nam-gyu and Myung-gi remember a small technicality. 2 killers can't split one body, so naturally they decide to go get another. They spot their next target, a player in a blue vest, already running for his life. He hides. It doesn't help. Nam-gyu and Myung-gi track him down, corner him, and go to work. They stabbed him together at the same time. Nam-gyu, ever the student of creepy behavior, pauses to admire the exact moment the light leaves the victim's eyes, like he's taking mental notes for a hobby no one asked for. That's murder again, and that's another life sentence. But don't worry, Nam-gyu still isn't finished chasing whatever the opposite of therapy is. Elsewhere, the so-called shaman group is wandering the halls, still following player 44 like she's got Wi-Fi and GPS. She leads them to a door she claims is the exit. Everyone's hopeful. She opens it and immediately runs, because behind the door are Myung-gi and Nam-gyu, who waste no time. They rush out and take down 2 of her followers on the spot. No questions, no hesitation, just full chaos, delivered with sharp objects. That's a double murder, which means another life sentence for Nam-gyu and 15 more years for being an accessory for Myung-gi. And now that doors have become weapons, Nam-gyu's next contribution to society somehow involves even less subtlety. While walking through the maze, Nam-gyu and Myung-gi come across a dead body. Most people would have taken one look and kept walking. Nam-gyu, for reasons only he understands, crouches down and starts poking it with a knife. Not to investigate, not to confirm anything, just out of morbid curiosity and a complete lack of boundaries. He keeps at it for a bit. There's no tactical reason. It's not part of the game. It's just Nam-gyu doing whatever his brain thinks is helpful, which, once again, it isn't. Next to the body is player 100, pretending to be dead. A solid plan until Nam-gyu spots him. He walks over, pulls a knife, and puts it to the guy's neck. He doesn't go through with it, but only because Myung-gi asks him to keep moving. That's desecration of a corpse, which earns him 3 years. Add another 3 for intimidation with a weapon, because apparently threatening people while loitering around a dead body is part of his process. And now that he's warmed up, Nam-gyu turns to his next crime. Back in the dorm, Nam-gyu suddenly realizes he's missing something. Not his dignity, the cross. He panics and goes straight to a guard, asking to retrieve what he accidentally left behind. The guard says no. Nam-gyu responds by trying to snatch the man's gun and start a fight in the middle of the hallway. Because nothing solves a misunderstanding like attempted armed robbery in a jumpsuit, and that's assault. He gets 3 years. In the final round, Nam-gyu is already a mess. He's standing at the base of a rope course, visibly panicking like someone who suddenly realized upper body strength isn't optional. He's sweating, shaking, and clearly not in the mindset to do anything involving heights or coordination. Min-soo walks over and for once seems mildly concerned. He asks if Nam-gyu's okay. Naturally, Nam-gyu responds the way he always does by telling him to leave. Min-soo doesn't. Instead, he pulls out the necklace, the one Nam-gyu's been obsessing over since the beginning. He waves it around a bit, doesn't hand it over, and casually threatens to throw it. Nam-gyu flips. He goes from hostile to desperate in seconds. Suddenly, it's all apologies, bargaining, and a little light begging with a side of emotional instability. Min-soo doesn't care. He tosses the necklace onto the middle of the course and tells Nam-gyu to go get it. So he does, jumping, scrambling, crawling like his entire personality is falling apart in real time. He reaches it, opens it up, and stares inside. It's empty. Confusion sets in as he realizes he risked everything for nothing. Then the rope swings in like it's on a schedule, hits him straight on, and sends him off the platform. He falls. Game over. No win, no glory. Just a man who died chasing a necklace that had already quit on him. That's how it ends. As we finish up, Nam-gyu's full list of crimes includes intimidation with 2 years, coercion with 5 years, drug use with a 1001 fine, drug possession with 4 years, assault with 3 years, desecration of a corpse with 3 years, intimidation with a weapon with 3 years, and accessory to murder with 15 years. On top of that, 4 counts of murder earn him 4 life sentences. Bullying was not criminal, but still deeply unnecessary. In total, that's 4 life sentences, 35 years in prison, a 1001 fine, and a long list of reasons he should never be put in charge of anything. This was all for the crimes of Nam-gyu. If you want to see more videos like this, click the video on screen now.